2026 is looking to be a really promising year for video games. There's really a lot to look forward to, so I thought it'd be a fun idea to make this list. And this list is a bit late, but I did just start this YouTube channel. But even now in late April, there's so many games I'm looking forward to. And I also think it's important to preface this video by saying some of these games might get delayed, and that's totally okay. I am always in favor of developers delaying games to make them the best they can be. So with all that being said, let's get into my top 10 most anticipated games for the rest of 2026. Before I get into the main top 10 list, I'm going to start with some honorable mentions. Starting with a game that just got a trailer, which is Splatoon Raiders. Splatoon is a game I think you have to play to understand how fun it is. Splatoon, for me, I looked on the outside and was like, why is this game popular? Why is this game... I don't get it. It doesn't look fun to me. Then I got my hands on it and I became a big fan. I think Splatoon is such a fun game. And now we're getting a single-player spin-off game, which, from the trailer, looks really cool. It looks to be a lot like Salmon Run. I've never really gotten into Salmon Run. I've only really stuck to the multiplayer stuff, but I'm definitely willing to give it a shot. Moving on to another one of my honorable mentions is Wolverine by Insomniac Games. I am a major Insomniac Games fan. They are a development studio that can do no wrong in my eyes. They do not miss. And this is a game I am highly anticipating. The only thing for me is I'm not a big Wolverine or X-Men fan. I like Wolverine for sure. He's a super cool character, but you know, Spider-Man is one of my favorite fictional characters of all time, so those games are more up my alley. I've read the majority of modern Amazing Spider-Man comics. I've read a ton of Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man, but I do love Marvel Comics. Wolverine's a cool character. I am very excited for this game. It may or may not be a day one pickup for me. I'll probably wait on it just because I'm not a big Wolverine fan, but I am sure it's going to be an incredible game. Like I said, Insomniac does not miss. If you are a big Wolverine fan, this is probably your most anticipated game of the year, and it's not even close. And I am super happy for all the Wolverine fans out there, and X-Men fans. Another big honorable mention for me is the Lego Batman game. The Lego games are a huge guilty pleasure of mine, and the original Lego Batman is probably the Lego game I played the most as a kid, and I really enjoyed the recent kind of reboot Lego did with the Lego Star Wars game. I thought it was a lot of fun, and this game seems to be even better. It's kind of mixing all the elements of all the different Batman movies together and kind of looks like it has the Arkham play style. This one looks like a lot of fun. This is probably the highest up on my honorable mentions. This would probably be my number 11. I'm really excited for this one. I'm also just a big Batman fan. Another honorable mention of mine is Gecko Gods. I've had my eye on this game for a while now, and it just recently released. I don't know a ton about the game, but I know that you play as a gecko, it's a very puzzle-heavy game, and it has a beautiful art style, and that's all I needed to know, and I was hooked. I definitely plan on checking this one out sooner than later. I'll go rapid fire with these other honorable mentions. Another honorable mention I have is Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis. I've only played one Tomb Raider game, the first of the reboots. Really enjoyed it. I need to play the others. Another is Onimusha Way of the Sword. Capcom is just on a roll right now. I've never played an Onimusha game. I need to check them out, but this one just looks like a lot of fun, like some solid combat, a good time. I'm excited to eventually check this one out. And my last honorable mention is Warhammer 40k Boltgun 2. I've only played the first couple levels of the first game, but it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the art style and the world of Warhammer, so this is one I definitely want to check out once I beat the first one. So yeah, that concludes my honorable mentions. Let's get into the official top 10 list. The first game on my top 10 most anticipated games of 2026 so far is Kena Scars of Cosmora. I loved the first Kena. It was such a great experience. And for some reason, I did not expect a sequel at all, but it is a welcome surprise. I am really excited for this one. If you haven't played the first Kena game, I highly recommend it. I believe it was their debut game as a studio, so I'm really excited to see how they improve upon the first game. Because as much as I love it, you can kind of see the growing pains with it being their first game, so I expect with this game it to be the first game, but just better. With all their experience from developing the first game, I'm really excited to see how they improve upon it with the sequel, and I'm sure it'll be a great time, just like the first game. Next up is the Duskbloods. FromSoft is my favorite development team alive right now. I am just obsessed with their games. Finding out it was multiplayer was kinda disappointing, I won't lie, but at the same time, I really loved Elden Ring Night Reign. It is such an underrated game in my opinion. It's a really fun time with friends. I even ended up getting the platinum on that game. I had a really fun time with it. So that game has me more hopeful for Duskbloods. Plus, I think this is a bigger project for them. I think Miyazaki is a lot more involved in the Duskbloods. It's also a whole new universe, a whole new world. I think it's going to be both PvE and PvP, which is very interesting. It's lower on the list because, like I said, it's multiplayer and we just don't know much about it yet. But if it's made by FromSoft and Miyazaki is involved, I'll be picking it up day one. I have to check this one out. And I am fairly confident it's at least going to be a really fun time. It's probably not going to be one of my favorite FromSoft games, but just like Elden Ring Night Reign, I think I'm just going to have a blast with it, put a lot of time in it, play it with some friends. So I'm definitely really excited for the Duskbloods. At number 8 on my list, I have Rhythm Heaven Groove. I adore the Rhythm Heaven series. I played a ton of the Rhythm Heaven DS game and even more of Rhythm Heaven Fever on the Wii. I had kind of given up on us getting new Rhythm Heaven games, but I am so happy to be proven wrong. I'm so excited for this game. I also just recommend, if you haven't played Rhythm Heaven before, please check this game out on Switch. It's only going to be $40, and these games are oozing with charm. They are so much more than just a rhythm game. I also recommend, if you're already a fan of Rhythm Heaven or just rhythm games in general, to check out the game Melatonin. It's very inspired by Rhythm Heaven and a super cozy rhythm game that I really enjoyed. At number 7, I have Pragmata, a game that just very recently came out and has gotten really good reviews, which is really exciting. But this is a game that I truly could not have been less interested in when it was first revealed. I honestly thought it looked terrible. I thought it was just really unappealing. Then I played the demo and threw all of that out of the window. Capcom is just on a roll right now. They just can't miss. I'm not sure when I'll be able to pick this one up, but just from the demo, the gameplay is so unique, the combat is so unique, and I'm really interested in the story it has to tell. This game went from couldn't care less to highly anticipated, and if you were like me and you just think the game doesn't look interesting, I highly recommend checking out the demo. It might change your mind. Next on the list, I have Akatori. The second I saw this trailer, I was immediately sold. Metroidvania is my favorite genre. I love the art style. All I had to do, like I said, was see a couple seconds of the trailer, and this was high up on my most anticipated games. I'll kind of just let the trailer play here and let the game speak for itself because it looks incredible. I cannot wait for this one. This will be a day one pickup for me. Next on my list is The Adventures of Elliot. HD 2D might just be my favorite art style in all of video games, and Octopath is a series I desperately wanted to get into, but for the life of me, I don't know why, I just couldn't get into it. It's especially weird because, like I said, I love the art style, it has an incredible soundtrack, the turn-based combat is so good, like mechanics-wise, it's some of my favorite turn-based combat I've ever played, but all that said, I just couldn't get into it. But I think pairing this art style with real-time combat is going to be a match made in heaven for me. I actively avoided the demo because I just want to go into this game fresh. I have a really good feeling I'm going to love this one. At the number 4 spot, I have a game that came out not too long ago, which is Replaced. This is another game where all I had to do was see a couple clips from the trailer, and I knew this one was a must-buy for me. I know next to nothing about this game besides how beautiful the art style is. I think that it might have some Arkham-style combat, but I truly know next to nothing about this game. The art style just immediately jumped out at me, and I know it's a game I have to buy. I did see it's gotten positive reviews, so that's really good, but very eager to check this one out. At number 3 on my list, I have Dewdrop Dynasty. This is another Metroidvania, which is already my favorite genre, but it's made by a YouTuber that I've followed for quite some time now called Goodgis. He does a lot of devlogs showing off his progress on the game, and it's been one of my favorite YouTube channels for a long time now. The art style is this very simple pixel art, but I do not say simple as an insult because the art style in this game is probably my favorite on the entire list. It just has so much charm, especially the backgrounds of the levels, the character design. It is just such a charming game to look at and looks really fun to play as well. If you don't know about Goodgis, I will leave his channel in the description. Please go check it out. This game looks phenomenal, and I will be picking it up day one without question. At number 2 on the list, I have Phantom Blade Zero. I remember when this game was revealed like yesterday. This game hooked me immediately. It looks like it might be Souls-like combat with a little bit of hack and slash as well. I'm not really sure, but everything about this game is just right up my alley. It honestly looks like it was made for me, between the combat and the visuals, which are just so badass. I cannot get enough of this game every time I see it. I've watched the trailers on repeat. I'm cautiously very optimistic. I'll probably wait to see reviews and how people receive it, which I don't usually do. I don't usually care about reviews and reception because there's so many games that I love that are poorly received, and also just as many games that are critically acclaimed that I don't personally like. So I don't usually do that, but I do want to see the general reception of this one and then make my decision from there, but I really hope this one lives up to the hype. And before moving on to my number 1, I would like to say if I would have made this video at the very start of 2026, Resident Evil Requiem probably would have been in the number 2 spot. I did play that game. I loved that game. It lived up to it honestly exceeded the hype I had for it. And then there's also a game that is tied for number 1 with me. I didn't want to put it on the official list because it isn't a brand new video game, but that is the Silksong Sea of Sorrow DLC. If I were to include this on the list officially, it would be my number 1 far and away. If I'm just talking all things video games, this is what I'm most looking forward to in 2026. By far, it's not even close. Hollow Knight and Silksong are just 2 really, really special video games to me. It's one of those rare video game experiences where everything but the game just melts away and you're just 100% immersed. It's just one of those special games for me. And this is without a doubt the number 1 thing in video games I'm most looking forward to, but it is a DLC, so I didn't want to officially include it, but I had to mention it. So yeah, just wanted to talk about Resident Evil and Silksong DLC just to cover all my bases for the video. So without further ado, let's get into the number 1 most anticipated game for me in 2026. And that game is a game that has not even been revealed yet, which is Ocarina of Time Remake. I know the game has not been revealed. It may not even be real. So I'm kind of cheating here, but it's my list. And I just really think the game exists. I really do. I'm that confident in it. I also just recently made a video talking about how I wish the development team that made this game would have just made a Zelda spinoff instead. So I'm being very hypocritical putting this game at my number 1 most anticipated game of the year. But first of all, Zelda is my favorite franchise in gaming and it's not even close. And second of all, while I do still stand by that, I think this remake has immense potential. I think it could be really, really special if they pull it off. And since I did already make a whole video on it, I won't go super into detail, but all I'll say here is, if they meld together that Breath of the Wild style with the original 3D Zelda formula, this could end up being my dream Zelda game. And if you want to hear more of my in-depth thoughts about the remake, definitely check out my initial video. But I just can't help this game being my most anticipated game of the year. I love Zelda that much, and I think this game has that much potential. I think it could be that great if done right. But yeah, those are my top 10 most anticipated games for the rest of 2026. I would love to hear in the comments the games you're most looking forward to. Yes, I know GTA 6 was not on this list. I am personally not a big GTA guy. I'm more of a Red Dead guy, but I have a feeling that's probably most people's number one. But I'd love to hear the games y'all are excited for, so drop it in the comments, and thanks for watching.